Today is October 15th, 2025, and we're going to cover one topic that comes up pretty much every winter, especially on new construction, just because a lot of people are inexperienced or don't know what is happening in their home. And I want to make sure that we bring this to your attention so that it doesn't become a heated argument at the time that it does happen. It's one of those things we've seen over the year after year after year, and it's just part of the climate and the conditions in Iowa. So that being said, with the low humidity levels in the wintertime and the extreme cold temperatures on the outside, and then the warm, higher humidity levels on the interior of a home, what can happen is some shrinking and expansion on those exterior walls. So these cabinets are on an interior wall. This is likely not going to have any kind of incidences of something like this happening, but what you can have happen on these exterior walls where the cabinet is mounted on an exterior wall, and then you've got a backsplash and caulking. There's a multitude of things that could happen. That caulking will shrink in some cases. In some cases, the wall itself can shrink through the wintertime just because of the low humidity conditions outside, and it'll look like there's a big giant gap where it's glued to the wall. Well, this is a two-piece system. So the countertop is here, and then the backsplash is here, and it's two pieces. That's just glued to the wall and then caulked at the top. And then this countertop will also look like it's pulling away from the wall here, as well as the cabinet here. And that's more likely than not anything that's not, you can tell that the cabinet is securely mounted to the wall, not budging. But in the wintertime, when things shrink up, it'll look like it is pulling off the wall, and that's usually not the case. I can show you real quickly another case where it's pretty common, and it's on those bathroom walls, particularly on this one where it's an exterior wall where this double vanity is mounted. So what'll happen is this caulking will crack for sure. I can almost guarantee it, here and here. And then the backsplash itself is glued to the wall, and that wall shrinks in the wintertime just because it's got so much organic material behind this drywall, the gypsum board, in the form of wood, and low humidity levels causes it to shrink a little bit, and it'll look like it's pulling away from the wall. But what'll happen is in the springtime, as the spring rains come in April and May, you'll notice that it'll start closing that gap up again, and you'll be amazed at how quickly that actually disappears, and it's just part of winter conditions. You can, recaulk this area and this area, touch up the paint through the wintertime. It's just, I would be cautious of how much you use, because as that expands back up, it'll squeeze out of those joints and it could look unsightly. So my recommendation is the first couple years, you don't do anything. You let it acclimate, dry out, settle in, and then, year 2, year 3, that's when you make any cosmetic touch-ups that you want to do for something like that. Hope that information helps. Thank you.